we're going to start India. So without further ado, let's get into it here. We're looking for our India thing. We'll do scenario 1 of 3. We'll take Helen Gerard. I'm not really sure what is in this scenario, but we'll just go ahead and take her anyways. And we can't change anything there. All right. So I'm pretty pumped about this. Let's see how it goes.
Welcome to India. Your reputation precedes you. Otherwise, I, as the chairman of the Railway Board of the East India Trading Company, would not have chosen you. In fact, even Lord Hardinge, the Governor-General of India himself, has high hopes for you. India is a rich country, rich in culture, nature, and more importantly, resources, and as such, an important cornerstone of the Kingdom of England. But the infrastructure in our presidency, Madras, still leaves much to be desired. The region is abundant in granite, which lends itself wonderfully as building material for the construction of streets and irrigation systems. But it is some distance from Madras, the center of our operations here in South India. This is where the railways come in. The technology may still be in its infancy, yet I think there is no more efficient method to transport building materials in bulk. Additionally, we could extract resources from India way more efficiently using the railways. I'm sure you will understand that the company will keep a portion of the transport fares. But in return, each railway line will be refinanced to you after completion. This I guarantee you.
Refinance via the Indian people's tax money.
Ah yes, this is my assistant, Vikram Gupta. Moving on, using the railways, Madras will become an even greater commercial hub and raise the market value of our East India Company through the roof. And then, perhaps the great mogul will allow us to build tracks outside our presidency.
Just be aware that we cannot produce locomotives within India yet. Therefore, we have to rely on shipments of engines from England. And those are, let's say, not exactly state-of-the-art technology. And sadly, we currently don't have the facilities to do any research of our own on the matter.
Ha! Do you know what it costs to ship these engines from England to here? If you have a better alternative, go ahead. You had better be glad that the company agreed to provide you with these.
Oh, I did not mean to be disrespectful. I do have an idea pertaining to our locomotives. But let me work on it a bit before I tell you more about it.
Okay, let's see what we need to do without looking anywhere else. July 1840, so right now it's January. Probably all these cities I'm going to say wrong, so I just want to apologize to anyone from India. We got to connect the city of Anantapur to your home city, Tirupati. All right, so we get money for that, it says. And then by December, so same year, we need 140 wagons with one single train line connecting cities of Tirupati, Anantapur, and Nellore. And then by July, the next year, 1841, deliver 32 loads of granite to Tirupati. And then by March 42, we need 60,000 citizens in Tirupati. Right now, there is 35. Okay, let's go ahead and look in our city. And specifically, let's look at our goods. Lumber's still there. Sugar's there. Grain's there. Okay, that's good. Vegetables is still there. These two here might only kick in based on population. I'm not sure. So we got rice. That's a new one. We got Naan bread. Now, that could be a manufactured good. Poultry. And then meat, obviously, must be based on that poultry, I'm guessing. Okay, maybe it would help if we looked at a city that's maybe smaller. Yeah, here, let's look at this city. All right, there we go. Now we got a better look. Okay, so wood, sugar, rice, grain, and Naan bread. Okay, so let's just look around and see what we have. So this is red, that's red, that's red. So we only have kind of this little area here. We have Nellore, nice bonus there. We have a bonus for this, what is it, a ranch? Oh, it's like a poultry ranch. Okay, so that's probably going to take the place of the beef, I'm guessing. So Tirupati, which has a poultry industry or meat industry, will obviously benefit from that. And then we have Anantapur, they're making planks. Every city is going to need 5 things. All right, perfect. So we have research available. Let's see. Let's take this then. We get a little reliability bonus, but it really wasn't for that. Okay, so is Madras? No, it's not. So Tirupati is going to be kind of like our central city for the moment. So I think we could easily have a load from Anantapur down to Tirupati over the Nellore, and that's what it wanted right there, right? So we'll go ahead and start working on that. We have our line laid down now from Anantapur to Tirupati. We're going to go ahead and build it.
Excellent. This route suits the transportation of granite to Madras perfectly.
Okay, so that's good. So we got our first thing done. Now we need to finalize this line that's gonna connect it. I think we'll double it up and then connect it to Nellore at the same time. So we'll go in here. I didn't like this because of where these buildings were. It was really weird. I'm hoping I can lay down another one out here somewhere because they're really not friendly stations at all. There we have our line all doubled up, ready to go. Now we're gonna go in the Anantapur and we're gonna take out this 2. What we did is we moved the station out. That's why there's 2. We're gonna put our maintenance depot in there. We're gonna bump it up to 100%, transfer the all. Now we're gonna go and put a post office in there. We'll go in Tirupati, and yeah, we moved that station around a couple times. That's why it's 3. We'll put a post office in, and I think we'll put a restaurant in, and that way we'll try to maximize our revenue right away. So we'll do the same thing here. Post office, maintenance, supply towers are already in. So now we need to lay a line down. Let's go Anantapur, Tirupati to Nellore, back again, and I think we will leave it. Let's go with the express, and we'll add all our wagons in, including the refrigerated car to get the poultry. And yeah, we'll put it on automatic. I guess it already was. Put 4 trains for now and just see how that works. We should get a bonus here from the lore. So we're gonna want to get this Patel Ranch so we can connect it. We can actually connect the both. Yeah, there we go. We can connect both. In theory, we could make a warehouse here and bring it in to these stations for now until we get more money to like have a proper freight station. I think I like that plan. I think we're gonna do that. So we're partway through. We ran out of money, of course. We're gonna take the second biggest bond, and then we'll take the biggest bond, and that's about all we're gonna do for quite a long time. And we got our lines into our cities now. I'm just finishing that right now. So our lines are into our city. I just need to put a supply tower that, no, actually there is one. So now there is, the vegetables is already hooked up. So the poultry. So we'll go ahead and run a line in the Tirupati and we'll tell it to be full all the time. And then we will not put a firefly, of course. GM American. Yes, let's go with this. And we will put a refrigerated car and we'll go freight. We'll go one of them. And then we probably will do the same thing with every city. We'll just go one for now because I'll at least get the vegetables, if nothing else. Okay, one of them. And then we'll go over to, what was the name of the city? Anantapur. And we want to make sure it's full when it does go. So now we're going to want to hook up everything else. So we need wood, we need sugar, we need rice, grain, and naan. So we ran out of money to build a second line here. So let's just go ahead and bring in the Irani rest. So at least we're getting some grain. And we'll put it freight, and we don't need any special cars. Yes, there's good. Well, technically there won't be conflict because there's only one train. So we have our express route. So that will help us get the 140 wagons, and it's automatic. So they'll ship some of the freight back and forth. Now we need to finish our little warehouse thing because we got to grow Tirupati anyways. So to double up this line, we're looking at 224,000. So that's a little bit of a steep price. Well, we basically need to do it because that's the only way we're going to get at this wood, and it's the only way we're going to get at like everything else basically. Things are starting to slow down here due to lack of money, but we now have our train from Chopper Rest with our wood in our terminal, our warehouse. We're going to put that in, make sure it's always coming in full, and then we're going to go ahead and go in here. And I had to rebuild it. That's why I'm in here doing another warehouse. I had to move things around. It didn't like the turns once I started adding in freight. So as soon as we get enough money, we'll lay in our warehouse, and then we can, all those trains will start kicking out again. We now have our connection bonus from the turkey. That's why, or the chicken. That's why I had to move it. For some reason, it must have been just barely outside the zone of the chicken. We got our name, and we already have vegetables, so we'll throw in, I'm just gonna leave it empty till I figure out what else I need. What we're gonna want to do now is we have wood and we have grain. So now we're gonna need sugar, rice, and naan bread. So we gotta look for naan bread. Where's naan bread? Let's go over here and go to naan bread. So it's down here in the red, so that's not good. It's over here in the red, and it's up here in the red. Okay, so there's gonna be no naan bread for now. And so then we can go, I think I already seen rice is here and sugar's here. And I can't buy either. Well, actually sugar I could buy. Let's buy sugar just for fun. And so I'll have to hook that up to the warehouse.
The imported locomotives seem to be doing their job, although they could be a little faster. For the moment, You will have to make do with the limited selection of engines.
So there we got our transport 140 wagons on a single train line between Tirupati, Anantapur, and Nellore. So we'll just leave that be. We didn't get our express on it. Maybe we could switch it to express. Let's see if we can make more money. We're making roughly, what, 8,000? Oh, wow. It jumps up to 15. That was well worth it. So we're also waiting to get money to hook up our sugar. We have one single line laid down, but no trains on it. So we want B&M American. And we're basically just waiting for money. And here we are with our money. We're going to lay that train down. That's fine. Single line won't be a problem for now. And then we're going to have to bring in this quarry. We need to run this into Tirupati. And it's like a special thing that Tirupati wants because you can see it's way down here. You should need like 95,000 or 100,000 citizens to need it. So we're going to have to find a way of bringing that in. We can't bring it to we could bring it to the warehouse, but the thing is, that's not really going to help anything because no one else wants it. So we're going to have to basically bring it to this freight line and run it in that way. I'd forgotten to go into my personnel and upgrade them all. So we're going to click training. Here we see 125. This will give us the maintenance requirement of our locomotives. We'll go down by 25%, so that's pretty good. And if we bump up the stokers to get them to 125%, increase the maximum speed of our locomotives by 12%, also good. And if we go a train personnel, max them out, increases ticket price by 10%, very good. And then security, if we bump them up, it increases revenue for mail and freight by 10%. That's all win-win right there. We finally got enough money to bring in our granite straight in Tirupati. We did buy the granite, so we own that outright. We'll go ahead and put a train on that. That's fine if it runs along sections. And Tirupati's almost hit 60,000. Oh, it has.
See? Our construction of the infrastructure is progressing smoothly. I expect even faster growth in Madras.
Perfect. So we have our 60,000 citizens, and as you saw, I just started the granite train, so that will take a little bit, of course. And we now have our rice coming into our warehouse, so we're going to run that down with one G&M American. Yeah, it's fine if it runs. It keeps giving you that warning. If it isn't doubled, you always get that warning. So really, Nellore isn't growing, but it is getting the wood. It's not getting a ton of sugar. It will get rice here in a second. Name bread's actually manufactured. I was thinking earlier it wasn't, but it kind of makes sense that it would be. And then Anantapur isn't really getting the sugar for some odd reason. I don't know if I need to maybe bump the sugar to 2 trains possibly. That might be my next move, bumping it to 2. Because it is true the Tirupati has some type of wine, or what is it called? It's called something different, but I think it's basically wine called Arak. I think we found the problem. This is either the sugar or the rice train now. See, it's going 4 kilometers an hour. Yeah, I think we need to fix this train line. Might be the best way of doing it. And here we are coming in with our last granite train right here. And this should be our final task that we need to do in this part of the scenario. We needed 32 granite and we're sitting at 24 and we have 8 on this train right now. So should be good to go here in a second. Actually, in the meantime, we'll finish building our double line here. This was the one I showed you was going real slow. I spent a little bit more money and now it's got a 6% grade instead of an 11%. I would say that should make quite a difference.
Marvelous. The granite has made it more than halfway to Madras. Just a little more. I see that you kept your promise. The first Indian railways are in service. The basis for our granite transport line stands. Naturally, the East India Company keeps its promise as well. Your premium has been paid out to you already. Next, make sure that our granite arrives in Madras. Then, expand the rail network in the southern Carnatic and arrange for a sufficient number of trains so we can extend our work to the whole region.
Our current locomotives, however, won't do the job. Too bad that we are limited to outdated engines from London. This needs to change. That's why I was working on plans for the construction of a locomotive factory in Red Hills near Madras. Please aid in building the railway settlement in Red Hills. As soon as it is completed, we can build our own Indian locomotives. This way, we would have higher capacity engines that are better suited for the loads and the terrain.
Awesome. So we got our 4 things done. Just ignore that stuff on the bottom. Connected Anantapur to Tirupati, did our 140 wagons, delivered 32 loads of granite to Tirupati, and we have 6,000 citizens. We actually have more than that. Tirupati's up to almost 80, still growing. Nellore and Anantapur is like shrinking, and it should be all right once this sugar and this rice get in there. Now that I put this line at a better angle, we own the wood, we own the sugar, and that's it. I thought I bought the granite, but apparently I didn't. Too bad, because it's worth 1.1 million and it was 126,000 to buy it. So go figure on that one. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, come back and watch another great video of Viking Me Gaming.